I am an Indian, American Indian. I prefer American Indian to anyone born in the Western Hemisphere is a Native American. I'm an Oglala Lakota from the Pine Ridge Sioux Indian Reservation, which is still designated in the Defense Department as prisoner of war camp number 44. You see, Indian people, we don't have any rights, any constitutional protections on the reservation whatsoever. No freedom of speech, no privacy. Wow, you Americans are in the same boat. What's happening in my country is also happening in your country. Because all colonialism by the imperial power of the United States of America is practiced and perfected on Indian reservations and then sent out to the world. And they also bring back those policies upon the backs of their own people, the American people, be they Democrat or Republican.
That they would put people in these areas, they would control them, and you had to then, like welfare, get your food and blankets from the corrupt Indian agents who would then make the natives for even food when they're starving in the winter, hooker out their women.
You tell me how the poorest country in America can afford all the hard drugs. It's impossible, yet it's happening. Thanks to the Bureau of Indian Affairs, their police.
And so the FBI, the BIA began to look into these issues and develop strategies together in their law enforcement policies. People were being harassed, kicked out of their house because they were perceived to be part of AIM, or people were being, should we say, brutalized if they were found out to be AIM and found in the wrong place of the reservation by the Bureau of Indian Affairs Police and or the FBI. And so this was a kind of reign of terror that was actually kind of began to take place on the reservation.
Somebody came to me and said there's some sterilization going on of Indian women. I publicized it, I had hearings on it.
Can you remember what the findings were?
The findings were that there was indeed sterilization going on.
Based on the documents that were secured by virtue of the illegal acts of the American Indian Movement, Women of All Nations warned that organization, analyzed the documents, and they concluded on the basis of the evidence they had that it was about 42% of the overall female population of childbearing age were prevented from birth. Not only involuntarily, but in a number of cases unwittingly. They were never even informed.
It used to be routine practice to try to sterilize Indian women after they had a very small number of children.
I mean, I don't even know how to describe how vile that was. Just absolutely incomprehensibly inhumane. And done as a matter of course. Women coming in, for any reason, going out sterilized.
And I don't care what the minions of the federal government do. I'm calling them the scouts, the people who work, the Indian people. Allegedly, they call themselves Indian people, and they work in the tribal governments. No matter what they say, it's a lie. You know? They're just dogs sniffing under the table for scraps from the federal government, from the taxpayers.